What's happening in Boston isn't just about shady fundraising. It's about foreign influence, compromised integrity, and one mayor who should be facing a lot more scrutiny than she is. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, the same far-left Democrat who turned Boston into a sanctuary city, opened the floodgates to illegal migrants, and proudly resisted Trump-era deportation efforts, is now facing serious questions about where her campaign money came from.
Now, this story, I'm sure you can probably imagine, will not be all over the lamestream media. This is not going to be something you're going to see MSDNC or ABC, CBS, or CNN covering initially, but it's coming, and they're going to have to, because what just been exposed is explosive, and there's no denying what's going on and why this Democrat left-wing extremist politician who's the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, has got a whole lot of questions to answer, and why she also is looking at investigation for the alleged crimes that she's committed, not just against Boston, not just against the American taxpayer, but against the United States. So let's check out this story. And in it, I'm not going to just show you the article. I'm going to show you the video clips and a breakdown of what's going on. So just hang in there with me. The video clips, you're really going to like them. But I'm going to go through a little bit of this story, then I'll get into the next clip. So as you see right here, exclusive, anti-Trump resistance leaders campaign bankrolled by Democrat power broker tied to the Chinese intel agency. And I'm talking about directly tied to the intelligence agency of the CCP, not a lobbyist, not a politician, a direct intelligence agent that is linked directly with Michelle Wu. And this individual's name is Gary Yu. So you got Michelle Wu, Gary Yu. And one thing about these Chinese power brokers, they tend to stick with people of their same nationality. It's like in Oakland, that Oakland mayor who has been removed from office because she accepted money with ties from the CCP directly. So it's almost like they're getting a homegrown, or maybe that's because they're the easiest to be able to infiltrate. They have a common ground, or maybe it's because the loyalty ultimately is always going to be to the CCP more than any other country. It's like an American. No matter if I was to live any place else in the world, my loyalty is always going to be to where I'm from, and that's America. And for some reason, you know, these people jump on the Democrat side. It's like Eric Swalwell, the Democrat congressman who was dating Fang Fang, who was a Chinese spy. Like, she was a flat out spy, was exposed. You didn't see the media talk about it. And the Democrats were in power in the House. So Eric Swalwell did not get kicked off or censured. He did get booted from every committee, though. So let's check out this article. I apologize for ranting. Boston Democrat Mayor Michelle Wu's 2021 campaign received hundreds of thousands of dollars from a fundraiser who is listed by a Chinese intelligence agency as an official, a Daily Caller News Foundation investigation discovered. Gary Yu, the founder of Boston International Media Consulting, helped raise over $300,000 for Wu with the help of a Chinese civic association that he leads. However, Yu, whose Chinese name is Yu Guolang, is listed as an official by an agency of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP influence and intelligence service. So you heard that right. He's listed as an official by an agency of the CCP influence and intelligence service called the United Front Work Department, the UFWD, and also operates as a recruiter for the Chinese government, according to reports from the CCP, Chinese State Media and Civic Association, led by Yu. The Communist Party's UFWD never rests. Author and China expert Gordon Chang told the DCNF, there is no ethnic Chinese official in America who is not targeted. It's time for law enforcement to investigate the CCP's ties to Gary Yu and Yu's ties to Mayor Michelle Wu. Wu has risen to national prominence as a central figure in the Democratic resistance to Trump's border and deportation policies. Wonder why? Wu recently defended her city's refusal to cooperate with immigration officials during her March 19, 2025 State of the City address, during which she criticized presidents who think they are kings, unlike China, who has a dictator, prompting the White House to fire back the next day with a press release labeling Wu a radical mayor who puts violent criminal illegal aliens first. Wu's ultra leftism makes her the perfect candidate for CCP recruitment and capture, Chang said. Or do we have it backwards? Is her ultra leftism the result of CCP recruitment and capture? More than just the people of Boston would like to know. So let's get into this clip. This is a video clip of Michelle Wu herself as she's letting it be known what she thinks about immigration in the United States. Check this out.
Been working in Boston. It's been working so well that we're recognized nationally as the safest major city in the country. And we will continue to follow the law. The federal government has their purview. We don't enforce federal immigration law. Our police department takes care of criminal activity and they focus on local issues. And whenever someone breaks the law, we hold them accountable here, regardless of their immigration status, which we do not ask about and we do not interact with. Been working.
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that like button. Two things. I'll never ask you for a cash app or a super chat, but you hitting that like button, it really does help. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And when you do, when you see the notifications, hit the bell and then select all. And in that way, you'll be notified when I upload new videos. So you got to ask yourself, or maybe you don't have to ask yourself, now knowing she has ties to the CCP, is it any wonder why she's such a starch defender of non-deportation? Check out Nancy Mace as she calls her out here during this congressional hearing.
Are you willing to go to jail for violating federal law?
The city of Chicago complies with all laws.
Oh, I highly doubt that. Mayor Wu?
We are not violating federal law.
Mayor Wu, I have a last couple questions for you. Do you believe that ICE arresting a child rapist, quote, threatens everyone's safety, end quote? Yes or no?
No.
Does ICE arresting a murderous MS-13 gang member threaten everyone's safety? Yes or no?
No.
I would like to hold up this quote of you where you say ICE's efforts actually threaten the safety of everyone, end quote, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. You're a hypocrite. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So she called her out, called her flat out hypocrite. Now, here's a clip of Michelle Wu at the Boston Red Sox game. She was embarrassed big time because what do you think happened? Breaking. Boston Democrat Mayor Michelle Wu was publicly humiliated when she was met with so many boos at the Red Sox game that the camera had to switch to the American flag instead. Let's check out what happened with Michelle Wu in her own city. And isn't that a blatant lie talking about Boston's considered the safest, largest city? They have the drug zones. You got people nodding out on the street, beating and brutalizing people. What's happening is the police department are not reporting the violent crime. It was the same thing under the Biden administration. They say violent crime is down. No, violent crime was failing to be reported. Same thing in Chicago. They try to use that because what they do is if you're right on the border of the city, any crimes that are happening on the borderline of the city, they're just labeling them for that next city, that smaller town, whose numbers aren't as high as Chicago. So, hey, dropping a few on them, won't hurt them much, won't make them seem really bad, but it'll make Chicago or Boston seem better when crime is rampant in both of those areas and the constituents aren't happy. So check out her at this game. Whoa! Whoa! Now, what they did was smart. They tried to switch it to the flag, thinking that people was going to go from that to cheering. And you know how this liberal, left-wing, extremist, lamestream media would have did? They would have took the clip of the fans cheering about the flag and somehow would have showed her waving. And the next thing with the cheering crowd, and they would have merged it together, tried to make people think like the Bostonians were cheering her on. They weren't. But let's check out this video by someone who really knows what's going on. And they give a great breakdown of what's happening with Michelle Wu and her corruption and ties to Gary Yu.
Might be the most underreported scandal in local American politics right now. Because what's happening in Boston isn't just about shady fundraising. It's about foreign influence, compromised integrity, and one mayor who should be facing a lot more scrutiny than she is. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, the same far-left Democrat who turned Boston into a sanctuary city, opened the floodgates to illegal migrants, and proudly resisted Trump-era deportation efforts, is now facing serious questions about where her campaign money came from. According to an explosive investigation by the Daily Caller News Foundation, Wu's 2021 mayoral campaign received over $300,000 raised by a man named Gary Yu. So who is Gary Yu? On paper, he's the president of the New England Chinese American Alliance and a commissioner on the Massachusetts Asian American and Pacific Islanders Commission. But go a layer deeper and you'll find that Gary Yu, whose Chinese name is Yu Guoliang, is listed as an official tied to the United Front Work Department. And if you don't know what that is, buckle up. The United Front Work Department is not just another civic group. It's a foreign influence and intelligence arm of the Chinese Communist Party, an agency designed to project Beijing's will into foreign societies, including the United States. According to Chinese state media reports, Gary Yu has even acted as a recruiter for the Chinese government. Let me say that again, clearer. A man listed as an official for a Chinese Communist Party influence operation helped raise over $300,000 for a sitting American mayor. Now, China expert Gordon Chang said it best. He warned, the Communist Party's UFWD never rests. There is no ethnic Chinese official in America who is not targeted. It's time for law enforcement to investigate the CCP's ties to Gary Yu and Yu's ties to Mayor Michelle Wu. And he's absolutely right. This goes beyond political affiliation. It's about foreign infiltration into American elections. This isn't some fringe conspiracy. It's documented, it's traceable, and it's being ignored by nearly every legacy media outlet in the country. And look, Michelle Wu isn't just another progressive mayor. She's made national headlines for throwing racially segregated events. Yes, really, like a holiday party only for black staffers. She stood behind open border immigration policies while her city struggles with crime, housing, and overwhelmed social services.
We stand with immigrants. You belong here. Somos una ciudad de inmigrantes. Boston doesn't back down. We are a city where the Irish coffee is strong and our opinions are stronger. We may not always agree or see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we are a family. If you come for one of us, you will get all of us.
See how they use the emotional play on weak-minded people? This lady has no loyalty to the people of Boston at all, or to America, as we learning.
And now we find out her campaign was boosted by a man embedded in a known Chinese influence network. Well, we're not giving her a pass because the people of Boston deserve answers. And frankly, so does every American. We deserve to know who's influencing our leaders, where that money is coming from, and what strings might be attached to it. Foreign influence doesn't always come through hacking or espionage. Sometimes it comes through smiling fundraisers and quiet campaign checks. And if we don't start demanding transparency now, then we shouldn't be surprised when foreign powers decide our future for us. This isn't about partisanship. This is about sovereignty. And it's time someone said it out loud. Let's talk about...
Wow. So now as we see, this isn't just mere speculation. It's a fact that Gary Yu gave $300,000 to her 2021 campaign to help her win for mayor. She's been a strong advocate for the illegal immigrants. She's done everything she can to resist the Trump administration. And why? She's throwing parties just for black staffers. She's doing everything she can to racially divide, and she's Asian. And so, you know, how dare she decide that she's going to discriminate against white co-workers when the very basis of what we're trying to change in this country is removing those racial lines and everybody realizing we're all people. I don't care if you're white, yellow, brown. You have people in your family that pass away. You still have bills, no matter how big, no matter how little. We all have certain concerns about our children, about our own well-being and mortality. That's what make us people. And regardless of what we look like on the outside, we're more similar on the inside than we are different. But you get race hustling people in leadership like her that straight are divisive. And now we realize her divisiveness could be on behalf of the CCP, allegedly, based on her ties, affiliation, and the fact that she's got a fundraiser coming up now. It's a $1,500 a table fundraiser. and I'm not sure who's hosting it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody with more affiliations in the CCP. So I just wanted to bring you this update that we're starting to learn that these radical left-wing extremist politicians, they're not just doing that of their own volition. They're not just doing that because they really believe in it. They're being told to do it, and in many times they're being bought to do it. So if it was $300,000 for the campaign to get her in power, imagine how much value she has to them in power. That $300,000 was a drop in the bucket, probably for the tens of millions or legislative policies that she's going to help create in that city and other freaking affiliates of the CCP and other cities that'll be to the detriment of the American people. And this has got to stop. So I appreciate you for hanging in there watching it. I hope this video got you some valid information that you can use to spread and to wake people up that this person is a traitor for allegedly working hand in hand with an intelligence member of the CCP intelligence, not just a lobbyist. This person works for their government. This is crazy. But you know, listen, like the video if you haven't already, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.